Hey, I'm Guy.
I'm John.
It's our YouTube channel. Subscribe to it and give this video a like.
Podcast below in the description. Go check that out right now.
Also in the description, geology.com/ham. You get on the website. You tell them about your skin, oily, whatever your needs are, and you get 40% off. Geology.com/ham.
Yep. Guys need to wash their face. I know I get really oily skin. You just go to geology.com/ham. You can fill out a little questionnaire and they send you face wash and some great moisturizer. Got to moisturize, guy. Got to moisturize.
All right, John, what did you, as a former NFL scout, see when you watched the video? Ohio State posted this of Justin Fields' pro day today. This is Wednesday. They posted this on their Instagram page. So let's just fly through some of this stuff or watch some of this, and we can rewind as we go, see if you like anything you don't like.
Oh, BB.
So what are these guys looking for here? John Beck's protege, Justin Fields.
Let's face it. We've seen him do all this. I just think you like to see a guy throw live, right? If you're scouting any player in any sport, there's one thing to see a guy hit a home run. There's another thing to go stand by the cage and watch the ball come off his bat. There's one thing to watch a guy throw on tape. There's another thing to stand there and watch the ball come out of his hands and really feel the velocity. Like, let's face it, he's the best athlete, right, of the group. He ran a 4.41, an elite blue chip athlete. But at quarterback, you just want to see him throw it a little bit. Throws on the move, like that's something big in Kyle's offense. I mean, not necessarily these exact plays, though I'm sure Kyle could implement them, but just the play action boot stuff, like a play like that, just scrambling a play. Brandon Ayuk beelining it down the field. The one thing you say about the Niners is they got a couple guys in Kittle and Ayuk that can really run, right?
Yep.
I mean, I would say Kittle. Is there a faster tight end in the maybe Noah Fant? Like he's one of the fastest tight end / kind of like hybrid bigger. I guess once what's his name comes into the league, Pitts. But, Kittle's one of the fastest, and obviously Ayuk is their kind of speed demon.
Mm-hmm. And, the other thing I think is before there was Ayuk, there was Emmanuel Sanders. There's no secret. There was Julio Jones. If we just name people, we do this all the time with quarterbacks. We name all the quarterbacks Kyle worked with. Well, let's name some of the receivers that he's worked with, right? And the first one that comes to mind is Julio. Then he wanted Emmanuel. Then he wanted Ayuk. This is not
young. They signed Pierre Garçon in Washington, who he brought to San Francisco, who when he was younger could run.
Yeah. Yep.
So they want to throw the ball deep.
Exactly. I say this about Deebo Samuel all the time. I don't want Deebo Samuel's career to have to be Deebo Samuel catching nothing but bubble screens and taking hits like he's a running back. I know he's not the guy we're talking about here, but there is definitely a desire to take big swings. I think this goes back to the way we talk about Kyle. Kyle wants some of this stuff. How could he not?
I would say one negative for healthy Jimmy. I think there's two Jimmys. There's a Jimmy that stays up in the suite, and then there's healthy when Jimmy plays. I would say throws like this with Jimmy, pushing the ball down the field. I don't know if the stats back me up, but I know the eye test does. I'm not that confident that he's going to hit intermediate to deeper balls, right? But those are just balls that are now they're the hardest throw in football. Anything over 25, 30 yards is just a low completion percentage relative to like a quick out, right? Part of a reason a guy throws 70% in a game, if you go, 21 to 30, a decent amount of your completions are going to be, even though you're way behind the line of scrimmage, probably within 5 to 10 yards of the line of scrimmage, right? Outs, ins, deep cuts, or deep ins, I guess, but still, you're not hitting. The majority of the balls that you're completing are not going to be go routes and deep posts or even like deep flags.
Right.
They're going to be shorter stuff. So when you get in those positions, can you hit? It's just trying to up the percentage, right? Can you hit 50% of them? Can you hit? Because if you hit 50% of them and then you take advantage of the short to even shorter intermediate game, you can be a really, really productive player.
Yeah, and is simply the threat of you being able to hit that play always there for the defense to have to worry about. That's part of
crossers was the word I was looking for.
I thought I was going to go in breaking routes, but it's just the threat of you being able to do it. I do think we have to appreciate too when you watch this. We always laugh at pro day type stuff, right? 53 of 52, or 53 of 53, or 52 of 53. I don't think TV really does justice when you're watching a game 11 on 11. Just how precise some of this stuff is. And I think this Fields video, again, I'm not giving him any more credit for completing a pass than some ball that Mac Jones overthrew. It's not about that. I just do think for quarterbacks in general, the precision required to throw the ball 60 yards downfield and drop it in the bucket. It's incredible. That's not the price of admission, but I don't even care if it's on it. What these guys all do at a really high level is really, really special and really hard. And just that basic level of talent that they have is really impressive. I mean, this
guy's an elite prospect, and it's why he's going to be a pro. It's why he's going to get drafted really high. I think the analogy I would use, if you just watch the highlights, sometimes the Warriors tweet out or Instagram out of Steph Curry before a game, just going through his drills, and let's say even at practice, he hits 20 straight three-pointers from the corner. And people go, well, no one's guarding him or whatever, but he doesn't even touch the rim. Like, the precision it takes to do that is incredible. Honestly, you become so numb at the plays just the high-level athlete make that you kind of talk and diminish the accomplishment. Like, this is really, and it speaks to Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence, they all do this. This is why they're big-time prospects.
Yeah.
Like, this is why, even nitpicking like Johnny Manziel's pro day, like, they're on such a high level. Now, it gets way harder once you get to the league. It gets way harder once you're playing defenses. And then not even just defenses. You start getting different looks. You start getting blitz calls. You start doing audibles. This is it's a thinking man's sport, really. Like, isn't it clear? Like, the physical attributes, there are no questions with this player. Zero.
By the way, before I answer that, I'm not even talking about first rounders. I'm just talking about the guys who can do this, and there's a lot more of them that can do it than there are that can really execute it in the NFL. Even those guys, I'm really impressed by.
Like,
also,
I bet if you just looked at Kyle Trask pro day, you'd be like, this is pretty impressive.
Yeah,
right?
But I would say, again, you're going to laugh at me. I would say if we went back and just looked at the way C.J. Beathard looked in a practice versus 98% of college quarterbacks, it's probably really impressive, right? And it wouldn't have looked like this. Also, the receivers at full speed, arms come out late. Just the whole thing is, I'm not being funny, like, it is just it's really a display of the 0.01% of athletic abilities. Now, they're all 0.01 percenters in the NFL, so there's more required. I think the other thing, now back to your point on Fields, I think it's great to be able to watch this guy do this, watch Mac Jones do this, watch Trey Lance do this, and go, just how do their movements look compared to the other movements, right? Like, how much are you, if you're standing there as a scout with a notepad and a pen, like, what are you writing down here? Just the fluidity of his movements? Do you care about the accuracy on these throws?
Yeah, I mean, the accuracy matters because you are on air, right?
Yeah.
If you're a good three-point shooter and you're shooting threes by yourself, you should hit the majority of them. If you're a good player, you should hit the majority of these passes. I would imagine, I don't know who he's throwing to, but it's an Ohio State wide receiver who could even be an underclassman. They've thrown together for a couple years now. I think the key is, the way the Patriots do their grading scale is not based on like first, second round players. It's just based on relative to their team. So if Kyle sent me there, which I think I read that is Kyle Lynch and the quarterback coach, Rich, and someone DM'd me the other day speaking it out. Like I like making fun of Scangarella. So I'm relating it to Jimmy, how much better he does things than Jimmy. His movement, his quickness, his arm strength, just everything is an upgrade on the quarterback that we have.
Yeah.
That's how I would approach these pro days. If I'm John Lynch and talking to Kyle about it, like how much better he is than the guy that we have under contract that took us to a Super Bowl.
Right.
That sometimes goes forgotten, guy. Jimmy, he should send Bill Belichick thank you notes for the rest of his life because he mentored Jimmy. He drafted Jimmy. He sent him to the Niners. And even Jimmy's been a polarizing player. He's made $100+ million, and he's been a quarterback on a team. Like, if his career ended tomorrow, and if they draft Justin Fields, do you agree with this? If Justin Fields is the pick at number 3, Jimmy's bye-bye by the draft.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way that Jimmy Garoppolo and Justin Fields are going to share a meeting room together, and it really doesn't make that much sense.
Or it could be around the draft. Not necessarily before the first round, but yes.
Yeah, I meant, during draft weekend.
Yeah.
That Jimmy's career, even if he never threw another pass, Belichick, it just should become like a honorary family member. The money he made him.
I don't think there's any question. Who knows? Maybe there's another level of his career back with Bill.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, just even up to this point, the base that he gave him to be able to come to Kyle and handle it, the mental fortitude you learn in New England to go battle through an injury. It's no slight to either to get Wally pipped technically by Justin Fields, right? It's not.
Well, we wouldn't be here if they didn't need to upgrade a quarterback. So it's not about slights or no slights. It's just we wouldn't be here if Jimmy was healthy or better or both, right?
Yeah.